All right. So for today's assignment, and actually every day this week, we'll be looking at this. We are going to make a mind map. So mind maps look something like this, and they can take all sorts of shapes and forms. It's really up to you. So this is a very basic one. So at the center, you have whatever topic you're wanting to talk about. So in this case, world capitals. You can see four different world capitals. You can add more. They have Washington, should say DC, and then they have lines that show, okay, there's Washington, and now over here in Washington DC, we can see that some of the buildings that are there are the White House and the U.S. Capitol, and then go over here to um, the other one of the other world capitals, Paris, France. You can see the Eiffel Tower and you can see Notre Dame. All right, so notice how they have pictures and flags, and this was actually drawn on a computer program. We're going to use a computer program today, but there are other ways you can see this person hand drew um, this mind map about global warming. All right, so trying to do something about it, you can see that they're saying, okay, this red section, you can use less of these things, use less paper, use less bags at the store. All right. Other things you could do is you can travel. Try not to do traveling on airplanes because it creates CO2. And then some of the best travel options are walking, biking, using public transport, cars. Try to go for fuel efficient cars. So you can see how they're kind of starting off with a very uh, basic idea over here, and then they're getting more and more specific about that idea over here. See how they're branching off, sort of like a tree almost. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today, is how to make a mind map. And we're going to be making a mind map over um, topics that we've covered that will be on the DCP. So our DCP is the week after we get back from Thanksgiving. So this is a chance for us to study, and this is really good for most people's brains because it helps you to be able to visualize these ideas and to see everything. So today, after you watch the video, um, we're going to talk about the mission systems. Okay, but for just the sake of an example, I'm going to show you. Um, I'm going to show you Miguel Hidalgo. So if you open up the page that we talked about last week, our Miguel Hidalgo brain dump, don't open that up. I'm just saying if you were to use your notes. So what we remembered about him last week, we talked about that he made a speech called the Cry of Dolores. He was a Catholic priest, and he was in a war. Specifically, he started a war. So this is a mind map software that I'm using that is on Google Drive. So the way that you get this is by going to your Google Drive, go to New, okay, and of course my computer is being slow. Okay, there we go. All right, after you go to New, you're going to go all the way down to the bottom to More, and then you're going to go over and you're going to click Connect More Apps. When you go there, it's going to pull up a screen for you to search, and you're actually going to search for an app called Mind Mup, M-U-P. Okay, so Mind Mup is a tool that I like. So you're going to click on it, and then you'll have to install it. Mine's already installed, but you should be able to click a button on here that says Add to Drive or Install or something like that. Okay. All right. So once it's installed, Now you're going to go back to Google Classroom. Scroll. Actually, it's up here at the top. DCP2 Review Topics Mind Map. All right, click on that, and then when you open up the file, you may have to select which software to open it up with. Okay, so that's no big deal. All you do is click Open with MindMap. Okay, or there should be some other ways to do it too. So open with MindMap is just fine. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. Open this up, and I've already got it open over here, so I'm just gonna go back over here. All right, so now if we're focusing on Miguel Hidalgo, now without looking at my notes, I'm gonna try my best to remember what I remember about him. So the way I do that is to add some more stuff. I select it. Okay, you can see the blue dots around. And then I go over here to where it says this little connect dot thing. Okay, it's going to add a section, and then I'm going to put on here. He was a Catholic priest. All right, so I know that. Okay, now I'm going to keep adding stuff. So I'm going to click back on this one where it says Miguel Hidalgo because I want to add another section. See how it did that for me automatically. So I'm going to put on here made cry of Dolores speech. Okay. And then if I wanted to, I could put some more information here. So then I could click on this, add a little section. These are called nodes actually, but I'm going to say on here he spoke to native Mexicans. Okay. Let's see what else we know about him. So his Cry of Dolores speech. I know that this was the spark or beginning of the Mexican War of Independence. Okay. And then I can keep going. So if I know that this was the spark, there's a lot of other things that happen, but I can put on here Mexican independence. That's not going to turn out very well. Mexican independence equals 1821. Okay, so you can see here, it's going to keep going on and on and on. Now, what I want you to do is to color code these. So you can click on this and then go up here to the top, and you can change the colors by going here. You can select, let's see, select colors by going on that little section I just clicked. I'm going to select pink. And then, I'm going to go down and maybe do all of these. So I would select a different color for each one. And then you can actually add pictures on here. And I'm going to let you figure out how to add the pictures, but it's pretty simple. If you click here and then you go up here to the top, there is a button. Actually, here it is that says Insert Child Image Node. Click on that, and then you can go and you actually have to download images to your computer or into Google Drive, and you can add those as little sections. All right, so this is just a way for us to think about the more broad idea and then get more and more specific. Now, today we're focusing on the mission system. So try your best to think about what you learned from the video, what you already know about the mission system. Write that down around by adding the little node or section here. Okay. And then if you want to move on to the other topics, you can. Try your best to go through and think about them before you look at your notes. Try to remember what you remember. That's how your brain's going to learn the best, and that's what I would recommend. All right. So sorry about that little hiccup with the loading of the screen, but what I want you to do now is focus on this. I want you to change each of the sections to have different colors so that your brain will do better about maybe memorizing the colors. And then you're also going to be adding pictures to these. So another cool thing is you can add stickers. So if you open up this 100 thing right here, and you go and you search for, let's say, I know that mission systems had heavy, there's a lot of ideas about Christianity, so I can go and add a cross on there. I could do the same thing for Miguel Hidalgo. So now I'm seeing that these are actually kind of connected. So I can go over here and I could actually even connect um, these two sections. So just kind of something interesting. And you can move stuff around and whatever. You can also click, go back. So a lot of different things you can do here. All right. So let's go ahead and get started on this and focus on the mission system today. And then we'll focus on the other areas throughout this week.